2897, Mike, read back, correct, proceed direct Orman, join Victor 3.
All right, direct Orman will join Victor 3 for 97 Mike.
Okay, here we go. We are off to Orlando Executive, ready to go here, runway 9 at Palatka Airport, and we'll check, make sure there is no traffic, and go ahead and make our call. And we'll be an east and then southeast departure toward our first checkpoint, Lake Distant. Okay. Palatka traffic, Cherokee 2897 mics, taxiing to position runway 9 for a southeast departure, Palatka. About 10 degrees, mixture's rich, fuel pump's on, pressure is checked. Checking in the area, fuel pump, landing lights on, strobes are on, transponder set 1200. And here we go. This is an alignment check. All right, compass coming around at 9, coming around to 9. Big white number is 9. Got a slight left crosswind. So here we go. RPM is good. Engine instruments are on the green. Airspeed indicator is alive. Will rotate. That didn't take too long. Alright, I've just turned enough here to bring my track diamond over to my runway heading, so I'm tracking with a slight crosswind from the left, and then we'll turn the airplane slightly left here, and then we'll just track the runway center line out until we're ready to turn. And it's going to be a bumpy one today. Alright, 500 feet, flaps retracted, engine instruments are on the green. Trimmed up here. Palatka traffic, Cherokee is on the upwind, departing to the southeast, last call, Palatka. Okay, 1500, we'll pitch, let the speed build up a little bit. Okay, let's get our setup here at Orlando Executive, ATIS 127.25. Okay, and we'll do executive tower is 118.7. And executive ground will be 121.4. Okay, so we're just level now, getting established level here. And wow, just looking down at the water right now, it is pretty gusty here. We had a tropical system, tropical low move through yesterday, And I'm just looking at the white streaks on the water, and it is windy. Okay, here we are, level 1,500 feet. En route to Orlando Executive. We're just, I don't know, probably about 10 miles southeast of Palatka, just coming up over the top of Lake Crescent here. And I've already got everything set for Orlando Executive. On my number 1 radio I have Orlando Executive Tower, and then in the standby position I have Orlando Executive Ground, and then I have Orlando Executive ATIS in my number 2. I like to get all my radio work done early, and that's one less thing that I'm going to have to deal with as we get into some pretty busy, potentially busy airspace. This flight has really 3 challenges with regard to airspace. Number 1 is Orlando Executive in their Class Delta sits right underneath the Orlando Class Bravo airspace. The Orlando Executive Airport is very, very close to Orlando International. Not only that, though, it actually sits right in the approach corridor because Orlando International has north-south runways. And so this sits plopped right on the approach into the south runways. So we are limited there in terms of how high we can go. Right over Orlando Executive, you're limited to 1,600 feet, and you definitely don't want to go south. So that's challenge number 1. Challenge number 2 on this particular flight is we have Sanford Airport that has Class Charlie airspace, and that's just to the northeast. And then to the west of that is restricted airspace. And so we've got to kind of thread a needle here as we go southbound between Sanford on our left, Class Charlie, restricted on our right, and Orlando Class Bravo on top of us. This is not hard to do, but it requires you to look very carefully at this before you go up in the plane. Trying to figure this out in the air is crazy. That's where you're going to run into airspace violations or worse. So by doing our homework and looking very carefully and plotting a course using, in my case, a combination of ground reference points and airborne and electronic checkpoints, some fixes, I was able to figure out a path that will take us into the airport. There is one 4th challenge, and that is we have some very high obstructions kind of peppered around Orlando Executive. And so we have to be careful there. So you're squeezed from above, squeezed from below, squeezed from the sides, and you've got to be very aware of where you are. Now, no doubt about it, GPS helps. So I programmed our GPS here as best I could. I haven't put in one of the checkpoints, so I'm going to get that sorted out in a minute. But I do have it on my iPad. And I also have it backed up, as I said, with ground checkpoints, which is critical. So I'm able to double check everything and make sure that we are indeed where we're supposed to be. And my first visual checkpoint coming up is going to be Lake Diston. Lake Diston is a pretty common checkpoint out here. Good-sized lake in the middle of nowhere. And so that's where I'm off to right now. So I'll check in with you guys as soon as we get over Lake Diston. Okay, guys, welcome back here. We are abeam Lake Diston. I have it on my left. And what I did is, rather than fly over to Lake Diston and cut back over to my next checkpoint, which is my electronic waypoint, what I did is I just kept that in sight, and to make a straighter line, I've gone direct to the waypoint. The waypoint is Uniform Delta Uniform Zulu India, Uduzi.
Tower 956, Mike Bravo, working on a visual runway 7.
See, by having the tower frequency up, I can see they're using runway 7. And I get a feel for the amount of traffic, whether or not we got a happy controller. So we're proceeding right now to Uduzi, and we are 23.1 miles out. I am going to attempt to get the ATIS if I can right now. So we'll try that. One little trick, a lot of times, you can't do this, you can do it with the Garmin 430. It requires you to disable the auto squelch. Some radios are a little trickier. But on these more legacy instruments like this, you can pull the little knob, and what that does, that's going to break the squelch and allow you to receive transmissions, including ATIS, AWAS, further out than you would normally be able to. You're going to be putting up with background noise. But sometimes through that background noise you can hear, a little bit faint, you can hear the AWAS. You cannot, in my opinion, you cannot get ATIS early enough when you're going, especially when you're going over into a busy airport like Orlando Executive. So you want to get that early. You know, you'll get the advertised runway information, the winds, altimeter, and things like that. Okay, so here's an example of using the, of breaking that auto squelch to get the current ATIS. And I'm going to do that on the number 1 radio, which is a little bit better, has a little bit better reception in this airplane than my number 2. So right now I have ATIS in the number 1, 127.25, 2725. And I'm waiting. I have the volume up, frequency set, but I don't hear anything. Now, if I break the squelch on it, although it's going to be annoying to listen to background noise, I can actually pick up the ATIS.
070.4, plus 20, visibility 10. Go ahead, everybody, coverage, echo. 19520. Swing 0015, plus 21, visibility 10. Showing 4,300 broken. 7229, 2419, estimator 3009. Visual approach, only 7 meters. Caution, clear to the out and continue to the airport. Current delivery, contact showing 121.4. Feedback over on the local instructions and runway assignment. Contact and contact information echo. Go and over your coverage echo. 198.520. Swing 0015, plus 21. Visibility 10. Showing 4,300 broken. 7229, 2419, estimator 3009. Visual approach, only 7 meters. Caution, clear to...
Okay, so there you go. You get actually get information echo there. Altimeter is 30.
Tower Skyhawk 536, Hotel Fox, with you 8.5 miles southwest of the airport at 1,200 inbound, full stop for Delta.
November 536 Hotel Foxtrot Orlando Executive Tower. Remain outside of the Class Bravo airspace and proceed inbound to runway 7. I'll have your landing clearance in just a few miles.
Wilco, 6 Hotel Fox.
Executive Tower, good afternoon. You get a Skyhawk November 17 for Juliet Kilo, about 10 miles to the northwest of the airport, looking for close traffic with information echo.
One of the things I like to do early on, relatively early on,
November 536 Hotel Foxtrot number 1.
is I like to review the airport taxi diagram. The airport taxi diagram, I can now figure out approximately how I'm going to get from the runway to where I'm trying to go, which is Atlantic Aviation FBO on the west side. Could be a couple combinations, but at least I'm getting my head familiar with the area. So that's something I like to do right about now, about, you know, whatever, about 15, 20 miles out. Just one last glance at that, and that now gives me an idea for what's coming up next. Okay, coming up on our right is going to be the tall antenna. And I see it right there, so I've got a visual with it. That antenna is 1,549 feet. And I bumped up just to 1,600 feet. Gosh, that still looks taller than me. So I'm going to stay just a little ways to this side of the antenna, to the east side. And then once we pass that, I'll check where we are going to be with our next challenge, which will be Sanford's, Class Charlie, as we're coming up here. And I don't know if the camera can pick up the antenna, but it is right there about our 1 o'clock. I think once I get across that antenna, we'll get a little bit south, pick up a little bit of rain here. Once we get just to the south of the antenna here, I'll drop back down because we want to be careful with the upcoming Orlando Class Bravo. So I'll probably drop down to about 12 or 1,300 feet. We're going to stay west of the Sanford Class Charlie. So that shouldn't be a factor as long as we keep an idea of keep a close eye on where we're at here. And the first, as we approach the Class Bravo, the bases will be between 3,000 and 4,000, so 3 will be the lower of that. But we're well below that, that's not a factor for us. Okay, there's the antenna. Gosh, that's awful high. Not sure how those guys work on that thing, but they do. All right, so we're just kind of flying around the antenna here. And of course, with those antennas, it's not just the antenna, but also you want to be careful because they have guy wires that extend from them. All right, so I deviated a little bit east of the antenna. Now I want to come back to the west because to our east is going to be Sanford Airspace Class Charlie. And the outer shelf goes from 1,300 feet MSL all the way up to the base of the Class Bravo. So I'm going to stay west of the shelf area. As we proceed back to our, I'll just do another direct here to our doozy. Which is straight ahead. Okay, we just crossed doozy, and now we're on to our second electronic checkpoint, which is IPNEC, India Papa November Echo Charlie, which brings us south. And I think right about now I'm going to start dropping down to about 1,200 feet. And from there, it's going to be a turn in. That'll put us just a little ways northwest of our destination, Orlando Executive. So right now we're beneath the Class Bravo. The line that I have here actually sits right in the middle. We have 4,000 and 3,000 feet. But again, we're going to drop down to 1,200 here. So not an issue.
And Honker 902, Mike Sears, Radiant 7.
Okay, we're going to run our descent approach checklist real quick. Level off here around 1,200 feet. A to say what's we got. Approach briefing will be a visual into runway 7. We are clear of all obstructions right now.
Honker 2, Mike Sears, contact departure, show you.
Radios and instruments are set. Altimeters are set and cross-checked. Heading indicator, can't cross-check because I actually don't have the tapes up right now, so we'll call it set on there. But we still set it here for our altitude alerter. Heading indicator, or compass and heading line. Pretty darn close, actually. Fuel selectors on the full tank. Circuit breakers are all in and locked, and brake pressure is checked. Before landing, seatbelts are on, landing light is on, electric fuel pump is on, pressure checks, engine instruments are in the green. Mixture is going to come to full rich, and we just have flaps to go, and that's it. Okay, get stuff done early and life is simple. And so now we're about to make our turn in toward the airport here from Ipnik. And we're currently, just 2.9 miles, about 303 miles north of Ipnik. Okay, here comes our Ipnik intersection, and now we'll start a turn to the southeast direct to the airport, and we'll give them a call. And that puts us, let's see, where did that put us at? I have to switch over here. It should be about 10 miles, I think. Airport, once we're over. Road showing 9.9. Yep, 10 miles. So here we go, we'll give them a call. And good afternoon, Orlando Executive Tower, Cherokee 28907 Mike. Information Echo 10 to the northwest, inbound full stop for Atlantic.
Aircraft call in from the northwest. Say the call sign again.
It's Cherokee 28907 Mike.
Cherokee 28907 Mike, Orlando Executive Tower. Enter a left base. Runway 7 and continue.
Left base for runway 797 Mike. Okay, so he wants us on a left base, so it's kind of like really what we're at right now. Runway 7 is like going to be like this relative to us right now, so a left base would be 7 plus 90, which would be 160, and we're heading 156. So we're basically perpendicular now to our landing runway. Notice that we have not been cleared to land yet. But that's important to keep in mind. Not too bad, 36 minutes so far. It'll be about 40 minutes, 42 minutes for the flight.
Cherokee Tower, Skyhawk number 7 for Unit Kilo, up in the tower, looking for full stop.
Scott 4 Julia Kilo, runway 7 clear to land.
Runway 7 clear land, 7 for Unit Kilo, thank you. Tower number, Fox.
Citation 62 Foxtrot Julia, Exec Tower, make straight and runway 7, continue.
Straight to runway 7, Fox.
Okay, we got a citation we got to watch out for.
Cherokee 907 Mike, make straight for the numbers. You're turning inside citation on a 6-mile final.
All right, straight to the numbers for 97 Mike. Okay, so he wants us straight to the numbers here. So we're going to break off our base and then come into 7, and we're just now going to head straight over to the numbers. And with the citation on the 6-mile final, that's going to be kind of close because we're like on a 2.5. So that spacing is going to be a little bit tight. If you're ever uncomfortable, just tell them unable. We'll see how this plays out. And downtown right on our right side here.
Cherokee 907 Mike, you're number 1, runway 7, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 7, 97 Mike.
Citation 2 Foxtrot Juliet, number 2 to follow Cherokee on a 1.5-mile final. Runway 7, clear to land.
2 Foxtrot Juliet, clear to land, number 2.
We're actually number 2 to land. That's got a guy on the runway right now.
Scout 4 Juliet Kilo, make the next left turn, make 3-1 please, and hold short of Alpha. Traffic short, final. Ground point 4.
3-1, hold short Alpha, and point 4, Sky hold center for Juliet Kilo.
All right, we'll try to make 3-1 as well. Yes, we got the citation right behind us.
Citation 2 Foxtrot Juliet, you're number 1.
2 Foxtrot Juliet, clear to land.
Tower 97 Mike, you want us to exit on 3-1?
97 Mike, where are you parking?
We're going to Atlantic.
Roger, no, take the next one, take Echo, the second left turn, and contact ground point 4.
Echo, then over to ground. Thanks for your help, 97 Mike. All right, very well done by the tower. All right, so here's where we'll just switch over to ground.
Skyhawks, number center for Juliet Kilo, is clear runway 7 at runway 31. Hold short Alpha, request to take you back to the west ramp.
74 Juliet Kilo, ground text to the west ramp via 3-1 Foxtrot, hold short of Kilo.
West ramp via 3-1 Foxtrot, hold short Kilo, number center for Juliet Kilo, thank you.
And ground 97 Mike is clear of 7 at Echo for Atlantic.
Number 974, alright, is our ground text to Atlantic via Echo.
Yeah, Echo to Atlantic for 97 Mike.
SX 62836, that Skyhawk will give way to you at Kilo, taxi to the east ramp via Foxtrot.
Okay, here comes our guy right here.
SX 836, hold short of the Woodstock on Alpha.
We'll hold short of taxiway Bravo on Alpha for 836.
Saying 62 Foxtrot Juliet ground, yep.
Foxtrot, we're here just 1 moment.
Roger.
Take care.